I love that Jonathan Roumie is an imposing physical presence. You know, that he's a tall guy. He's big. He sort of looms over everybody.
The rabbi,
yeah, and then
gets in his face a little bit.
No, but I mean, in any scene,
Yeah.
you know, his presence is just, his physical presence is something, but then that's matched by this real, there's a real strength in his performance. Oh, I will say, there's like a real trust in stillness. This is another thing that I don't see enough of in the performances. That just as the writing is sometimes very telly, the performances are sometimes very showy, very like, you know, you watch, you know, Mary Magdalene's response to Tamar's story or something, and every cut back to her, we have to see her giving some sort of, you know, gesture or facial, you know, twitch or something to like indicate to us that she's having some sort of emotional response, when sometimes all you really need is just a stillness and a listening and a presence. And Jonathan Roumie's performance definitely accomplishes that at times.
Yeah. But I like when he puts a little bit of like, not snark, but a little bit of like just a sharp edge. There's a couple parts in the season, like when he goes to raise Jairus' daughter from the dead, and the mourners are in the house. Like the way that he says she's not dead, she's asleep. It's like there's like a little bit of like a provocation to it.
Sure.
And then also in this synagogue scene in Nazareth, when what does he say? Is it judgment? They're asking about when the judgment or punishment, something like that. One of those two words is coming, and he says something like, "The punishment is in the future." And the way he says it is like, it's coming.
Yeah,
you know, it's coming. It's not like, don't worry. It's like the punishment is in the future. He
never apologizes, right? Yeah. That's a really awesome thing. You talked about Mary's apology in the Christmas special. Jesus never apologizes in this show, you know, and he doesn't even hint at an apology for what he's saying, you know, and Jonathan Roumie captures that in the way that he presents everything, every line, every challenge, every rebuke, every exhortation.
Yeah, you can see it in the scene with the where John the Baptist's disciples come to ask the question. As well, when the Pharisee is confronting him, and he's just like, "I said what I said."
Yes, you know? But he couples that too with like an incredible warmth and charisma that it's just perfect. It's so many things, and I love too that he has a very distinguished and distinct look without being Hollywood pretty boy. You know, I think that a lot of the male leads that we see in television shows and movies nowadays, they all kind of look the same. They all have this like Hollywood cookie cutter look. Jonathan Roumie doesn't have that, and yet he's still very handsome, very, you know, like distinguished looking. There's something very striking about his look, you know, and so I just think that his having this role is a real godsend, you know, literally providential, as is probably a lot, if not most, of what has gone on to produce this show. It's a small miracle, I think.
Yes.
Maybe not even a small miracle, maybe quite a big miracle, because like I said, you know, there are just these moments that sing, and the last thing I'll say about that episode, that third episode, is we get this incredibly moving sort of premonition of the passion in their taking him out to go cast him, you know, headlong from the cliffside, and Mary's response in that moment, and the look between Jesus and Mary before he's taken out. You know, I felt a lot of assurance for when that chapter is inevitably covered in this series. I don't know how they'll do it.
There was also a prefiguration of the raising of Lazarus, I thought, because they go out to the tomb of St. Joseph and they're standing together.
Yeah,
that's so true. I couldn't help but think.
Sure, totally.
You know?
I thought of the same.
But yeah, you know, like, I think that, you know, obviously they'll cross that bridge when they get there. I'm sure they're already thinking about it, how they're going to do, or if they're going to do, or what they're going to do when it comes time for the Passion. But judging from what was shown in that third episode, I feel very confident I'm very confident in them,
Yeah.
and in these actors that they've cast, and yeah, I'm just definitely looking forward to the next season. I definitely recommend this season to anybody who's not seen it. With of course the caveat that there's like some moments that are better than others, but those moments that are better, those are like unmissable moments in Christian cinema.